French police have shot dead the man who attacked Strasbourg, its Christmas market on Tuesday. The Interior Minister has said a police unit came across Grave Chekatt in a Strasbourg street and shot him after he opened fire. 3 people have died following the shooting at the market and several more were seriously injured. Chekatt
29
had a string of criminal convictions in France and Germany and had become a radical Islamist in jail. Interior Minister Christophe Castaner said 3 police officers had spotted a man matching Chekatt's description on Rue de Lazaret in the Neudorf area of Strasbourg at
21 点
local time
20点
GMT. As the police moved to stop him, the suspect turned around and opened fire. They fired back and neutralized the attacker, said Mr. Castaner, who later went to the scene. French President Emmanuel Macron thanked security forces in a tweet and vowed, "Our commitment against terrorism is total." Hundreds of French police and security forces had been searching for Chekatt. A large police operation had taken place in Neudorf earlier on Thursday, but ended apparently without results. 5 people have been arrested in connection with the attack. They include Grave Chekatt, his parents, and 2 of his brothers. Strasbourg Mayor Roland Ries said that finding Chekatt meant the worried people of his city would now be able to return to a normal life. Mr. Castaner thanked the security forces in a tweet. Face Opaya, Vuadas on la Mailer, Merci, in Strasbourg Pic, Twitter. COMCGBBZRTFX end of Twitter post by @Castaner. The city is Christmas market, which attracts 2 million people every year, is due to reopen on Friday, and Mr. Castaner is due to visit it. The bullet marks on the door where the suspected in Strasbourg government sheriff Chekatt was shot dead by police patrol officers on Rue de Lazaret in Neudorf last night. Click Twitter. Speak of land of Twitter post by @GavinLeBBC at about
20点
local time
19点
GMT. A man opened fire close to the famed Christmas market near Place Queensland, which attracts thousands of visitors. France's anti-terror prosecutor, Amaq, said the man had shouted, "Allahu Akbar," bodies greatest as he opened fire. The suspect was armed with a gun and a knife, and escaped the area after jumping into a taxi. Mr. Heiss said, as he fled he came into contact with 4 soldiers, Mr. Heiss said, and began firing at them. The soldiers fired back, apparently hitting him in the arm. The attacker told the taxi driver he had killed 10 people, and also said he had been injured during a firefight with the soldiers. He ordered the taxi driver to drop him near the police station in Neudorf. When he got out of the vehicle, he fired at police officers before escaping. Chekatt was born in Strasbourg and was already known to the security services. He was the subject of FHS, a watch list of people who represent a potential threat to national security. He had 27 convictions for crimes including robberies spanning France, Germany, and Switzerland, and had spent considerable time in prison. As a result, police were seeking him on Tuesday morning in connection with another case, but did not find him at home. A search of his apartment in Neudorf revealed a grenade, a rifle, 4 knives, 2 of which were hunting knives, and ammunition. The Islamic State group is self-styled news agency, Amaq, on Thursday said that Chekatt was an Islamic State soldier who had carried out the operation in response to calls for targeting citizens of coalition countries fighting its militants in Syria and Iraq. 3 people died in Tuesday's attack, according to a note from the local prefecture on Thursday. 1 of the 5 seriously injured in this attack has been declared brain dead, said the Paris prosecutor's office on Thursday. The death of Chekatt Neudorf, mechanic originally from Afghanistan, was announced on Thursday. The father of 3 died in hospital. His mosque announced his funeral would take place after Friday prayers. He had been visiting the market with his family and was shot in the head, his cousin told AFP news agency. Svitobi, CSDK Monatchband, Period. 3 infants, most well-known Queensland office from Rero Lucie, Vendredi Farti, Sembrin, La Grande Monsque, AYYB Southern Dupont, Strasbourg, APRS La Prairie du Vendredi,
13点。
Il Syrian Homocinati Reino Salmon, Strasbourg My Peak, Twitter.
COMLK 6
End of Twitter post by @GM Yap Southern, a retired bank worker aged
61
from Strasbourg, was also killed in the attack, according to media reports. The third victim was a Thai tourist who was on holiday with his wife. Thailand's Prime Minister, Prayut Chan-o-cha, sent a letter of condolence to his French counterpart on Thursday that confirmed the man was among the dead. AFP reports Amaq Soupçonné
45
has been named by Thai media as the victim, a 7-year-old girl from Guatemala who illegally crossed the US-Mexico border with her father died hours after being taken into custody. As media say, the girl, who arrived in the US last week as part of a group of migrants, died of dehydration and shock. The Washington Post reported the AP news agency close border officials as saying she had not had food or water for several days. Thousands of migrants have traveled from Central America to the US border. The migrants say they are fleeing persecution, poverty, and violence in their home countries of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Many of them say their goal is to settle in the US despite warnings by United States officials that anyone found entering the country illegally will face arrest, prosecution, and deportation. As officials have so far made no official statement on the death of the girl. On Thursday, the Washington Post reported that she had suffered seizures after being detained last weekend along with her father, and was taken by helicopter to a children's hospital in El Paso. In less than 24 hours after she was admitted, she suffered a cardiac arrest, the newspaper says, citing US Customs and Border Protection authorities. Tension has been running high on the US-Mexican border since the arrival of almost 700 migrants in recent weeks. Last month, as border agents used tear gas on a crowd of migrants, including children, trying to cross the border, the agents said that personnel had been assaulted and hit by stones. However, critics accused the Trump administration of a draconian response, while Mexico demanded an investigation into the incident. The migrants have traveled in large groups, duck caravans, for more than
000 km 500
miles from Central America. Among them are many families with young children. Donald Trump has vowed to keep each migrant on the Mexican side of the border until courts have decided their cases, meaning some face a long wait. They have been spending time in temporary shelters in the Mexican border city of Tijuana and New Mexicali.
180千米
To the east, the US passenger plane traveling from Seattle to Dallas was forced to turn back hours into its flight because a human heart had been left on board. Southwest Airlines says the organ was flown to Seattle from California, where it was to be processed at a hospital to have a valve recovered for future use, but it was never unloaded and its absence was not noticed until the plane was almost halfway to Dallas. The heart itself had not been intended for a specific patient. Details of the incident, which occurred on Sunday, were reviewed in media reports. On Thursday, passengers were said to have been shocked when the captain told them about the cargo and why the flight was turning back. Some used their smartphones to investigate the length of time that a heart can be stored before it is no longer viable for a transplant operation, typically between 4 and 6 hours. According to experts, the plane was reportedly in the air for about 3 hours. A doctor, who was among the passengers but not involved in the shipment of the organ, told the Seattle Times newspaper that the incident was a horrific story of gross negligence. Following the flight, its return to Seattle, the heart was taken to a donor health center for tissue storage and was said to have been received within the required time frame. The newspaper added, Australian authorities have issued a warning about a powerful cyclone that is tracking towards the coast of Queensland. Cyclone Owen is moving slowly over waters off the Northern Territory with winds of up to
200千米每小时，124英里。